A very good morning to all of you. I welcome you all to Baji Rao IAS Academy. This is the 7th July 2023. I'm sorry for the last 2 days not updating the news analysis, guys. And we will see today's article in a very vivid manner. Before moving to article, let's start our discussion with the quotation of the day. Darkness cannot drive out the darkness. Only light can do that. Like that. Hate cannot drive out the hate, only love can do that. So if anyone hates you, give him your love. Because of that love only, you can overcome that hateness and you will make good friendship with them. So this is the quotation given by our Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And let's move to the today's question. In India, which one of the following constitutional amendments was widely believed to be enacted to overcome the judicial interpretations of the fundamental rights? This question has been asked in the 2023 UPSC exam, and the options are First Amendment, option B, Second Amendment, 42nd Amendment, option C, 44th Amendment, option D, 86th Amendment. The answer for this question is option A, First Amendment. What are the important articles today? We are going to discuss India needs a uniform civil code. In this, you all know, guys, our Prime Minister Modi ji has emphasized on the uniform civil code that he needs to bring UCC in all over the India. We will see what is UCC and what is the author's opinion about the UCC, and we will also see the Supreme Court judgment regarding this. And also, the author has mentioned some constitutional debates which have happened in the Constitution Assembly. And let's move to the second article, internationalizing the rupee without the coin tossing. You all know, guys, India needs to empower its rupee power against the dollar and against the other reserve currency or hard currency. So in this way, we will see how the China has improved its coin renminbi, and we will see how we can improve our currency rupee in the international market. And we will see the third article, understanding the dark patterns. You all know, guys, this is the new trend which is going on in the consumer affairs strategy, dark patterns. We will see what is dark patterns, and we will also see what are the global reforms and global agendas going over the dark patterns, and we will see what will be the going forward or the way forward for the Indian government. And the fourth article is High Seas Treaty. In this, we will see our UN General Assembly has adopted the High Seas Treaty to protect the marine biodiversity in the high seas area. We will see what is high seas, and we will also see what are the importance of this biodiversity, and we will also see why it got late to enact this law up to this time. 2023 UN Assembly has been formed in 1945. Why this much late? We will all look into this article in a very vivid manner. And the last and final article is Finance Ministry pushes for the FDI reforms. When FDI means foreign direct investment, in this regard, we will see what is the problem going on in the all over the world, why the developing countries are attracting the foreign direct investment. We will see how India can attract the foreign direct investment, and we will also see what is the problem with India and what will be the solution for that. So these are very important articles, guys. We have too much articles. It all seems to be very important for your exam. So मेरे साथ बने रहिए. Wait and watch all this video up to the end so that you will understand what is the trend going on in our world and India. Without wasting our time, let's move into the first article, which means the India needs the Uniform Civil Code. The author is our Honorable ex-Vice President. He is the M. Venkaiah Naidu ji. He has written the importance of Uniform Civil Code. In this, he is saying the Supreme Court judgments regarding the Uniform Civil Code, and also he will address some arguments in the Constitution Assembly. Many people have supported the Uniform Civil Code, and he is saying the importance of Uniform Civil Code. First of all, guys, what is Uniform Civil Code? Actually, in previous lecture itself, I have explained to you what is Uniform Civil Code, and again, I will try to say you what is this Uniform Civil Code. See this word Uniform Civil Code. First, concentrate on this word civil. What is civil? Civil means normal people, everyone. We have civil law, criminal law. Criminal law means for those who committed the criminal offense. Civil means normal civil. We all comes under the civil people. What is uniform? Uniform means single, unique one. So we are creating the single personal law for all the people in the country. Are you all getting me? We are creating law in which aspects? We are creating the Laws in these aspects marriage, divorce, maintenance, inheritance, adoption, succession of property. You all know, guys, these things are covered under our personal laws, and most of our personal laws are influenced by our religious beliefs. You all know we have the right to religion, so our religion prescribes the personal law. So, according to that personal laws, every religion in our country runs towards a certain destiny. But what the government is looking upon, government want to create a unique personal law for all citizens of the Indian country. Because you know, guys, the PM Modi ji has emphasized that it is very difficult to run a country by having the different personal laws for different communities. We need the same and unique law so that we ensure we bring the equality between the men and women. We create the gender equality. We create the equality between the different communities. So to create this kind of equality, to reduce the disparities in the society, we need the uniform civil code. I hope you all are getting what is the Uniform Civil Code. What will be the implication by bringing the Uniform Civil Code? Actually, the author has tried to emphasize that if you bring the Uniform Civil Code, it will protect the vulnerable sections of the society. You all know, guys, we have vulnerable sections in society like women, religious minorities. They are somewhat vulnerable in our society. If we bring this Uniform Civil Code, it will create implication that they are brought into the equality, and it will protect them. And what will be the second one? Simplification of laws. Yes, guys, you all know we have different personal laws for different communities. This create a very confused manner. What do you say? Cumulus manner. It creates problem with interfering in different religions, because everyone have different rules and regulations. By enacting the Uniform Civil Code, we can say we are simplifying our laws. And what is the other implication? The other implication is adhering to ideal of secularism. You all know, guys, we our India in preamble we have enshrined that we are the secular nation. To achieve this secular republic, we need the common law for everyone. So that is the way we are finding uniform civil code to create the secular republic. And what is the fourth implication? It will bring the gender justice. You all know, guys, if this is in India, we have the patriarchal attitude. Most of the things are followed in the patriarchal setup only. To overcome this, to give freedom to all women, to give equality to all women, we need this uniform civil code. Because of this uniform civil code, we can bring the gender justice. So these are the implications of uniform civil code. And India needs a uniform civil code. Why this has been arranged in a new trend? You all know, guys, it has been enshrined in our Article 44 DPSP. What it said? The state shall endeavor to bring the uniform civil code. So now the new government under Modi ji, they are trying to bring uniform civil code. You all know. In the last week, our Prime Minister Modi ji has pointed out that we are having anomaly with different laws for different communities. We cannot run a country by having different laws. So, because of this absence of uniform civil code, we have different inequalities and inconsistencies in our land of rich diversity, and it also hinders our nation's progress. These are the words of our Prime Minister. So, what is saying? To overcome these challenges, we need the uniform civil code. In fact, the author is saying these some points from the Constitutional Assembly debates. What is in Constitutional Assembly itself, certain philosophers or certain important people they supported for the uniform civil code. Who are they? In fact, our father of Indian Constitution, our drafting committee chairman, B.R. Ambedkar sir, B.R. Baba Sahib Ambedkar sir, he also emphasized on the importance of bringing the uniform civil code. He want to bring everyone to the equality. So actually, he said religion is stopping us from bringing the uniform civil code. We have given the liberty to everyone. What is this liberty is all about? Liberty is all about bringing changes whenever required in the social arena. We have social problems. To overcome the social problem, we have got the liberty. So what Ambedkar sir has said, we got this liberty to overcome these challenges, and also he said our religion is hindering us from getting the uniform civil code. Actually, the B.R. Ambedkar sirs strongly emphasized on bringing the uniform civil code. And also, there are two other important persons. I hope you all know. Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer and the K.M. Munshi. These two people also supported for the Uniform Civil Code. In fact, many people have supported for the Uniform Civil Code, but there are also certain other sections, certain other important people in the Constitution Assembly. They are not stood with these important Ambedkar sir and Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. So because of that hard debate, it is very difficult for that time to bring the Uniform Civil Code. So it is very difficult to bring consensus regarding this Uniform Civil Code. So it is not possible for the Constituent Assembly to bring in the Uniform Civil Code. So the led that at the time they want the future government to bring the Uniform Civil Code. But you know, guys, from the 1947 till today, we have not get any strong government to bring this Uniform Civil Code. But this is our strong government, our NDA government having the very good majority. I think they can pass this bill. Well, let's see what happens. And also, author has mentioned about the Supreme Court's observation. What is the Supreme Court observation? You all know, guys, in the Shah Banu case, it is mentioned that Article 44 has remained a dead letter. It's very big words. What is Article 44? You all know, guys. I think in Article 44, it is enshrined that state shall endeavor to bring the uniform civil code. But this Article 44 has remained a dead letter. This is Supreme Court observation in the Shah Banu case, and also in the another judgment in another case, Indian Young Lawyers Association in 2018. It is said that we all get the freedom of religion, but this freedom of religion should not infringe on the all other fundamental rights in the Part 3. To exercise these fundamental rights, Part 3, we need these some unique and uniform law. These are the observations of Supreme Court in different judgments. And see, guys, therefore, to safeguard our fundamental rights and to reduce the social inequalities and to reduce the gender discrimination, we need the uniform civil code. By actually, the Supreme Court has emphasized these things that we need uniform civil code, but the Supreme Court cannot itself become judicial activist and it cannot create the law because Supreme Court knows that it is not its power to enact the law. Just it is the judicial interpreter. It cannot enact a law. So Supreme Court don't want to involve into the enactment of law. It always want the government to enact the law, the ruling people, the legislative to enact the law. So the Supreme Court has waited for this much time. So what is the way forward for the government in this regard? Actually, the government should bring trust in all people. Actually, you all know, guys, there are particular sections of people who fear from the uniform civil code because they may feel their religious beliefs may be affected. So to overcome their fear, we need to create an awareness among those people. We need to bring consensus among those people also to enact the fine and fair balanced uniform civil code. So this is the conclusion what the author has tried to provide us, and let's move to the second article, internationalizing the rupee without the coin tossing. What is it all about? You all know, guys, India's rupee has been depreciating, or depreciation means the loss of value. Rupee value has been decreasing. Before 2 years or 3 years, it was near about 60 rupees. For $1, we need to pay 60 rupees. And last year, it get into the $1 will be get by paying 70 rupees and 75 rupees. And nowadays, it become 82 to 83 rupees. If we want to buy $1, we need to give 83 rupees. What it is indicating from 62 now 83. It is saying that the rupee value has been depreciating. So how we can improve the rupee value, and what the China has followed to improve its currency renminbi. We will see into this. Actually, if you see in the past, what happened? Indian rupee was a legal tender for almost all transactions in the United Arab Emirates, mostly in the Middle East area. Our Indian rupee was a legal tender. What is legal tender? When we call something as a legal tender, see this word properly, legal tender. If if the government allows something, some product or some paper, some silver coins, anything, if government allows that some product to be used in the what is it, transaction of products, then it is called the legal tender. Are you getting me? Yes, the product which has the uh, government support behind that, that can be used, if it is can be, if it can, sorry guys, if it can be used for the transaction of commodities or for the transaction of any other businesses, then it is called the legal tender. Our Indian rupee has been a legal tender in 1950s. It has been used in the Middle East areas for the international transaction. And in 1959, the creation of Gulf rupee, we created the Gulf rupee by amending the Reserve Bank of India Act in 1959. With this Gulf rupee, our rupee has circulated in the West Asian region. And also with this enactment, we also given the opportunity for those people who are living in those area to exchange the that rupee with the Gulf rupee. So because of that, they all get the Gulf rupee by giving the Indian rupee. You all know, guys, that's the उस जमाने का demonetization था. This is the demonetization in 1959. Like that only, the Gulf region people possessed the rupee, Indian rupee. To overcome some problems, they introduced a new rupee which is called the Gulf rupee. So the people who are staying in the Gulf region, if they want the Gulf rupee, they want to give the rupee what they are possessing, and they will get back the Gulf rupee. Okay, guys, are you getting me? And what our finance ministry is saying now, what they are saying, if you see, our rupee usage in the international trade has been decreasing. It is just around 1.6 percentage. If you see in India, in the global market, there has been a very strong trade among the different countries. If the overall global trade, if what will be the India's contribution in the goods trade? In the global goods trade, India's contribution is just 2%, and the usage of Indian rupee is just 1.6 percentage. Are you all seeing this trend, guys? This is whole big whole big world. In this, we have the most populous country, India, but the Indian rupee is not that much strong as India. So, what what is the problem with rupee, and what are the steps taken by the India? If you see how we have tried to internationalize our rupee. See, if we want to strengthen our dollar, strengthen our rupee, we want to make sure that our rupee has been, or our rupee is used in the all the international transaction. Many countries want to use our rupee. If you see, guys, we are using the dollar in India itself for many transaction, oil purchase, and for for gold import, for crude oil purposes. We use the dollar for the trade purposes. Likewise, like the dollar, we should promote our rupee in the international trade. If we promote our rupee in the international trade, then automatically our rupee will get strengthened. How it will get strengthened? Because if we promote the rupee in the international market, then the demand for rupee will increase. So because of this demand, whenever some products demand increase, the product's value will increase. So if the rupee value increase, then automatically rupee's value against the dollar will also increase. We can reduce our rupees value against dollar. You all know, guys, for $1 we need to pay around 80 rupees. If we promote the rupee in international market for $1, this value can bring we can bring down from 80 rupees to 40 rupees. And in fact, we should bring this to $1 to 1 rupee. We should try for that. Are you all getting me, guys? Yes. And what are the steps taken by India to promote the rupee as an international currency? What they did, they promoted the external commercial borrowing in rupees. You all know, guys, you have you heard about the masala bond in the external commercial borrowing market? Yes. Um, See, guys, the masala bond is different concept. If we get the chance, if I get the chance to teach you economics lecture, I will teach you what is masala bond. Just keep this thing as apart, and let's see into the article only. Because if we move into the another track, it will get into the D track. I can't explain you all these things, but will give you the light, just something what you need to understand this article. What is this external commercial borrowings? You know, guys, our Indian companies, even our own Indian government, state government, borrows from the outer countries or the outside our Indian territory. When whenever our government borrows, it is different thing. It is not considered under the external commercial borrowing. See this word properly, guys. External commercial borrowing. If Indian companies borrows from the other nations, then it is called the external commercial borrowings. We promote the external commercial borrowing through the rupees. How these companies will promote from outer nation? See, in fact, in inside India, if some company want to borrow money, what they will do? They will give the bond or share. While giving the bond, what they will say? They will write some much money, the bond value there, and they will mention the interest over that. And what happens with the external commercial borrowing? In most of the cases, they use dollar denominated money. But since we are promoting the rupee in international arena, we are encouraging the companies to give bond by mentioning the bond value in rupees. So what happens? See, if we are if we are releasing the masala bond, this is the very special bond in which the rupee denominated bonds will be used as a masala bond. That is famously called as masala bond. They will take a bond. In that bond there will be a face value. Bond value is 1000 rupees and there will be interest rate of 10%. This is example, hypothetical case. So the commercial company will release this bond to the outer regions. So when people buy this rupee denominated bond, automatically what we are doing, we are popularizing the rupee. The demand for rupee will increase. The rupee's reach will increase in all over the world. So, because of this external commercial borrowing, we can promote our rupee. And what is another thing? We are encouraging the other nation to do trade with India in the rupee itself. We don't want to pay in dollar and they don't want to pay us in dollar. Just we will ensure that we pay in rupee to them. So this we call, and also there is another process encouraging opening rupee Vostro account from Russia, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, and UAE. What is this rupee Vostro account? If the banks from other countries come and open the banks in our India, then we call this as Vostro account. Are you all getting me, guys? The banks from other countries come and open account in Indian banks in India. It is called the Vostro Bank, Vostro account. And there is the opposite word for a Vostro account, that is Nostro account. What is Nostro account? A bank from India opens an account into the other nations, other banks account, that is the Nostro account. See the difference, guys? Vostro Vostro account is coming here. That is Vostro account. Nostro account is going from India, going outside the India. That is the Nostro account. So if we encourage the Vostro and Nostro accounts, this will improve our rupee trade in our international market. So these are the steps being taken by India, guys, and also we also encourage the Russia to buy oil. If India buy oil from Russia, we try to pay in rupee instead of dollars, and also we try to settle the international trade in rupees only, so that the attitude towards our Indian rupee can be changed. Are you all getting me, guys? Why we are doing this? Because we want to make our currency as odd currency, reserve currency. You all know, guys, in the international arena, there are five currencies which are famously called as reserve currency or odd currency. What are they? Dollar and the European euro, UK's pound sterling, Japanese yen, and the Chinese renminbi. These five currencies are called as hard currencies or reserve currencies. We want to make sure that the rupee want to become the sixth currency in this list. And the author has tried to mention the China's experience, what China did. See, guys, before 2004, if you see the China's coin renminbi, it is not used in the international trade. But after the 2004, the trend has changed. What happened with the China? In 2007, they issued the dim sum bond. You see, guys, dim sum bond, external commercial borrowing. We are now following the masala bond, but in 2007 itself, they followed the dim sum bond. They promoted the bond market, and also in 2008 they promoted the trade finance. They attracted the investment and the long term investment. They created the reserve currency. So because of all these activity, their Chinese renminbi has become the reserve currency. They allowed their renminbi to be used in the international accounts, international transactions. Because of all these processes, the China's renminbi has become the reserve currency. The China's renminbi has been used in the international trade, so it got promoted, it got popularized. Because of these activities, China's renminbi got success. And by saying this example, the author is trying to say India should follow this strategy to internationalize their rupee. And also what they did, they made the currency swap agreement with other nations like Brazil, United Kingdom, Uzbekistan, Thailand. What happens in the currency swap agreement? They will give their currency to the Brazil, United Kingdom, Uzbekistan, to other countries like this, and they will take their local currency. Because of this currency swap, what happens? We are automatically promoting our own currency, and also they created the Shanghai Free Trade Zone. Because of the Shanghai Free Trade Zone, they allowed free trading between the non-resident onshore and offshore accounts. Because of this, what happened? They automatically promoted the renminbi in the international market. And the author also trying to give some way forward. What will be the reform that we want to follow? We want to ensure that our convertibility in the international market should be 100%, that is freely convertible. The goal of full convertibility by 2060. You all know, guys, we have current convertibility concept, capital convertibility concept. In case of current convertibility, we have 100% capacity in the current account convertibility. We can convert up to 100 percentage. How much money you have, you can convert that. But in case of capital account convertibility, we don't have that much freedom. There has been some restrictions. So we cannot suddenly sell our bonds in the Indian market. We cannot take away the money which we invested in the Indian market. So this is the challenge in our capital account. So we want to make sure that our convertibility in both current account and the capital account should be the 100 percentage. You don't confuse with this technical words. What is this current account, capital account? Once you get into the syllabus, if you understand the basics concept, this article will become very easy to understand, guys. And what is the next procedure we want to follow? We want to make sure that our bond market has a deep pocket in the very what do you say, hindered area. We want to ensure our root has spread to the all regions. We want to ensure our bond market to become very strong, that is rupee bond market. And also we also want to promote the currency swap agreements. And what is the other thing the author is saying? We should give the tax incentives to the foreign businesses. By giving the tax incentives, we want to encourage to use we want to encourage those companies to use the rupee in operations. And also we must ensure that currency management stability and improve the exchange rate regime. You all know, guys, day by day our rupee is depreciating in terms of dollar value, exchange rate value. Our finance ministry and our RBI should ensure that our exchange rate should be maintained at the particular level. If we regularly see the depreciation, it will not attract the other investors to invest in the or to focus in the our rupee market. So are you all getting me, guys? These are the possible reforms we need to address. And what is the other thing? We also want to ensure that our currency has been used as an international currency in international organizations. You all know we have the IMF, World Bank, World Health Organization. There are many international organizations. We want to ensure that these international organizations should use our Indian currency as an official currency. And this is all about its diplomatic power. We should diplomatically, with a soft diplomacy, we should tackle all these organizations to ensure they use our currency as an official currency. And also, see, guys, in this regard, we have the Tarapur Committee. In the Tarapur Committee, 2006 and 1997 recommendation, there are certain recommendations to push our currency into the international arena. What they are saying, we want to reduce our fiscal deficit to lower than 3.5 percentage. You all know, guys, our India have very big fiscal deficit, which is it's like more than 6 percentage. We want to reduce this to 3.5 percentage, and also we need to ensure that our inflation rate should be in the range of 3 percentage to 5 percentage. And also it recommended the gross non-performing asset should be less than 5%. You all know guys, our non-performing asset has also been decreasing in recent days. We should ensure this only the first target fiscal deficit should be lower than 3.5%. You all know guys, due to corona COVID-19 pandemic, we all are facing the fiscal deficit problem. All state and even the central government, we have big and larger fiscal deficit. We should ensure that our fiscal deficit should reduce. So only we can promote our international rupee. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So these are the recommendations of Tarapur committee. Let's move to the another article. Dark pattern. What is this dark pattern? See guys, I hope you all have purchased many things from online market or the e-commerce platform, Amazon, Flipkart, like this. Whenever you try to purchase something, automatically there will be some pop-up message. Actually, you cannot overcome the pop-up message. Sometimes the YouTube show the advertisement where they will not provide you the skip button so that you want to see that whole advertisement up to its end. Likewise, so in the commercial platform, sometimes they will give the some pop-up message. You cannot overcome that. It will automatically hinder your process in purchasing. And there are other things. Automatically, some things will be added to your basket. You cannot avoid that thing because you want to buy that whole things. These are the examples of dog pattern. Are you all getting me guys? What is dog pattern? In simple terms we can say dog pattern refers to a design or user interface technique that is intentionally crafted to manipulate or deceive users. By deceiving users, we are forcing or we are attracting the users to come into the trap to buy those products. So because of this deceiving, our consumer is getting into the trap. They cannot overcome this trap. In fact, what is this dark pattern is all about? Dark pattern is all about giving the false information, false guidance to the consumer to buy the particular product, which ultimately affects the consumer's autonomy or the consumer's freedom of choice. Are you all getting me? So this is the dark pattern. See guys, I again explain you. Dark pattern is all about deceiving the मतलब जादू दिखाना, deceiving the consumers to buy some product which is not so important to them. There are different techniques of dog patterns. Are you okay guys? Do you understand this? What is dog pattern? See, the article has mentioned some examples for dog pattern. What is dog pattern? The most famous technique is sneak into the basket technique. If we had something into our basket, along with that something, some other more things will get automatically added and we cannot get rid of that automatic product. We also want to buy this whole product. So this is the sneak into the basket technique. And also you also notice whenever you use some internet in our web page, automatically there will be some pop-up message. You cannot overcome that easily. So these kind, what kind of information the pop-up message will possess? This pop-up message wants your personal information. It demands your personal information which you don't want to give. And also sometimes they will try to deceive you. They will try to enlarge your bill. Sometimes you are purchasing a product for 2500. It will show you a bill by enlarging the bill as in 2750. So these are the deceiving things which ultimately affects the autonomy and freedom of consumer. And also this is not the fair thing. You are you all getting me guys? So these are the dark patterns. This is the recent trend going on in online commerce platform. And what is it? Is it illegal or legal? See, guys, we don't have any rules or laws regarding this dog pattern, so we cannot say whether it is legal or illegal. But we all know from our fair understanding, we can say it is not the fair thing and it is not the ethical or correct thing. So definitely, it should be considered as an illegal thing. But since we are not having law regarding this, until and yet now we cannot say it is an illegal thing because there is no specific regulation in India. Okay, guys, and what is the views of global regulators regarding this dog pattern? You all know, guys, with our fair understanding, we can say this dog pattern is not the correct thing, this is not the ethical thing. So The all global regulators are also emphasizing on the same thing. This dark pattern is not good for the consumer attitude, not good for consumer welfare. Why? Because it is affecting the consumer autonomy, consumer freedom. We should ensure the consumer's freedom. So, these global regulators like European Union regulator, UK's regulator, they all are saying the dark pattern should be regulated with the some protocol. Are you all getting me, guys? Yes. What is the steps taken by India so far? Because why we are getting this article in today's newspaper? Because our Consumer Affairs Ministry and the Advertising Standard Council of India, you see the guys, Consumer Affairs Ministry and Advertising Standard Council of India, they are consulting with the other stakeholders who are affected by or who are involved in this dark pattern menace. So this news has arisen suddenly in our Indian market. So we are getting article about this dark pattern. Definitely in future also we will get more article regarding the dark pattern. But just you understand the basic thing regarding the dark pattern. What is dark pattern? You all know it is the deceiving pattern used by market strategists to deceive a consumer to sell their product. That is the dark pattern. There are different types of dark pattern. We already looked into it, and there is no any law to control this. So we cannot say whether it is legal or illegal. But the global regulators, they are perceiving this dark pattern as an illegal thing and unethical thing. So they are trying to control the dark patterns. And we also see what is the steps taken by India. They are consulting the different stakeholders. Ma ma Tanni. They are considering the different stakeholders to ensure that the dark how to control the dark patterns. And also they gave advice to different companies to avoid these patterns. They don't want to follow these strategies. In fact, if you see the Consumer Protection Act 2019, it has been very strongly emphasized that consumers' rights should be ensured. The interface or the middleman, they should not interfere into the or infringe into the consumers' rights. This is the Section 2 and Subclause 9 of the Consumer Protection Act 2019. And what is the way forward regarding the dark pattern in India? We should ensure that we create a robust legal mechanism. We should create a clear-cut law over this dark pattern. And also, we should amend the existing laws to include the menace of dark pattern into the existing laws. And also, we should create a or design a different organization to look into this. And also we should update the data protection consumer protection laws and also data protection legislation. So this is the way forward regarding the dark pattern. Let's move into the another and final article. I think so. The provisions of High Seas Treaty. What happened, guys? The UN General Assembly has adopted a resolution to protect the biodiversity in the high seas. High seas mean nothing, guys. We all know the after our territorial jurisdiction, we have exclusive economic from our coastal area. We have exclusive economic zone, and we have contiguous zone. Like this, we have different areas to be regulated in the international waters. From our national jurisdiction, whatever the water starts, we call it as an high seas. So whatever the bioorganisms found in this high seas, they are now protected under the resolution marine biodiversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, BBNJ, or the High Seas Treaty. It is shortly and famously called as High Seas Treaty. Who adopted this? It was adopted by the UN. Actually, by adopting different agreements in 1994 and 1995, we created different organizations like UN clause, and we created the International Seabed Authority and the Fish Stocks Agreement. You all know, guys, you have the United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. Under this organization, we have enacted the different treaties, and under the different treaties we created the International Seabed Authority under the Fish Stocks Agreement. And now they adopted the new agreement, that is the BBNJ Treaty or the High Seas Treaty, to protect the marine biodiversity. How it became possible? Nothing, guys. Actually, the talk or the debate has been going on over this issue for a very long time. It has started from 2002 itself. After that, they put a committee over this issue, and the committee recommended to create the intergovernmental conferences. So, from them, yet now we have created the five conferences. After having big conferences and conversations over these five conferences, we ensured that we adopted the treaty in 2023. And why we get this much late? Before moving to that, why we get late, let's see what is the essence of the treaty. What is the critical issue that we want to address? The, the critical issues are, you all know, guys, the marine biodiversity has been greatly declining due to the global warming and the global anthropogenic threats. We are creating the marine pollution, we are creating the oil spills. There will be a ship's accident. Because of this accident, oil spill will occur, fish ships firing, submarine warfares in the water. So these are the different reasons. Because of these things, the marine biodiversity has been largely affected. So to overcome all these problems, we are enacting this treaty. Are you all getting me, guys? Yes. And how we brought this treaty? By having the 3 by 4th of majority. So because to bring the consensus, we cannot bring consensus to everyone, so we brought this treaty by ensuring the 3 by 4th of majority vote. And what they are mainly focusing upon, they want to create the clear house mechanism. What does it mean? Note this word, guys: clear house mechanism. What the plan of clear house mechanism, what they are want to, what they are trying to do? They are saying that the information regarding the marine biodiversity is available to all, that is open access to marine diversity information. So this is the clear house mechanism. And also they want to build the capacity and the marine technology so that the marine biodiversity has been strengthened. And they also want to create the scientific and technical body. What this body will do, it will create a standard and guidelines for assessment procedures, and also it will help those countries which don't have capacity to carry out the assessment. And also it will conduct the conference of parties to study the future impact, and also they will identify different areas to work upon. So these are the important things about this treaty. You look into this article, guys, because it will be important. Definitely UPSC will ask regarding this topic in mains or some other perspective. And the other perspective, what the author is trying to cover, why we have delayed to adopt this treaty for nearly 75 years. Because there is no clear-cut consensus among the nation. There has been a very strong debate regarding certain questions, especially the debate over definition. We have the phrases like promote or ensure. We don't have proper definition for these words. And also we have other adjacency issues. Many people, they don't have clear-cut border areas in the high seas. Then how we mark the high seas area, and who will look into the other international waters. So there are certain important questions arising from this agreement. So because of these question and debate only, we got this much late to bring this treaty. Let's move to the another article. Finance Ministry pushes for reforms to spur FDI. What is FDI? Foreign direct investment. Not only over India, in the world, many developing countries are trying to attract the foreign direct investment. You know, the Sri Lanka, even the Pakistan, for example. Many people, they need the foreign direct investment, because without foreign direct investment there will be no any big capital market. You need the international resource, hard currencies. I told you now that five currencies, we need these currencies in our Indian market, because of that only we can develop our capital market. So what the trend is going on, why the new article has arisen over the FDI issue? Because our finance ministry has made a strong pitch that they want to facilitate the foreign direct investment in India. If you see, the financial year 2022, the FDA has been decreased. There are certain reasons regarding this. What happened to the FDA? Why it got reduced? Because there is an inflationary pressure. You all know, guys, there is a COVID-19 issue and also rainfall issue, El Nino effect. So because of all this effect, inflation has increased. So the FDA has decreased, and the tighter monetary policies. To control the inflation, we followed the tight monetary policies. It ultimately affected the FDI inflows, and also there is political difference. If you see the geographical diplomatic scenario, we supported Russia, and some people supported the West in the Russia-Ukraine war. So there are diplomatic problems because of this. Also, FDI inflow has decreased, and these are the factors which the ministry has quoted for as the reason for decrease in the FDI. You see, guys, not only our India, the all over the developing countries in all over the world, they are seeing the 36 percentage of decline in FDI in 2022. What is the possible factor regarding this decline? There is a geopolitical stress. Because of this stress, there is a volatility in the global financial system. Because of this volatility, there are some global stock market problems. And also, there is a high magnitude of El Nino impact. Because of all these factors, our economy has failed to attract the FDI. Because of our failure, it has declined 36 percentage in 2022. What India needs to do, this is the way forward. What India needs to do, actually, our finance ministry has said they want to develop last mile infrastructure and also free or cheap labor availability, and they want to create a large capacity because we want to create a skillful labor in our India. And our finance ministry has also said because of this carbon border adjustment mechanism, because of this CBAM, our Indian products are not encouraged by the European nation. So in future we will not get dollar with our export. This is also one of the challenges what India want to address. And what will be the forward going forward solution for this problem? See, guys, we need to create an employment. We need to increase our employment, and also we should ensure the rapid digitalization occur in India. We want to ensure the technological advancement, and also we should promote the production linked incentive scheme. By doing all these things, we can attract the more FDIs in India. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for listening the whole article. And if you feel something we are lacking in this video, you can do in the comment section. We will try to improve our aspect, and we will try to give the clear cut message to you. So thank you so much listening, guys. Don't forget to touch the subscriber button. Along with that, also touch the bell button so that you get all notification whenever our team BAJIRAO IAS Academy post you any videos. So thank you so much for listening. Have a nice day. Bye bye and take care.